So today we're jumping into something really fascinating. Welcome to the new protest playground, where we're going to explore how memes are, believe it or not, becoming a seriously powerful tool for modern movements.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Can a short, funny video, something you might just scroll past, actually pack a bigger punch than a protest sign held high in the streets? It's a wild thought, but it's at the very heart of what we're talking about today.
So let's break this down. A totally new political battlefield is popping up all over the globe, and it's not in some government building. It's on our phones. And the weapons? Not what you'd expect. We're talking humor, sharp satire, and the insane speed of viral social media trends. All right, to really get a feel for how this works, our first stop is Nigeria. This is where people are finding a pretty powerful way to push back against corruption, basically by laughing right in its face. And it even has a name, #CorruptoTik. It's a clever mix of, you guessed it, corruption and TikTok. And it's the hashtag Nigerian creators are using to post these short, hilarious skits that make fun of politicians and dig into some of the country's biggest government scandals. And this is where it gets wild. You see these specific, sometimes totally absurd events get turned into viral ammo. I mean, get this. Back in 2018, a government office actually claimed that a snake had swallowed a huge pile of missing cash. It was so ridiculous that creators on #CorruptoCo just ran with it, turning it into this massive running joke and, more importantly, a symbol of government dysfunction. You see, this isn't just about getting a few laughs. There's a real strategy behind it all. By using comedy, these creators are making sure that these huge issues of bad governance don't just get a news headline and then fade away. The memes, the skits, they make a heavy topic feel way more approachable and keep these scandals alive in everyone's minds. Okay, so let's hop over to another part of the world and see a different spin on this. We're heading to Nepal, where a similar online trend was used not just to mock people, but to flat out expose the elite. Over in Nepal, this term Nepo kids just exploded online, and it was aimed squarely at the children of the country's rich and powerful, the political and business elite, who were all over social media showing off these incredibly lavish lifestyles. And this is where the friction really shows. On one hand, you have the Nepo kids feed, filled with exotic vacations, luxury cars, designer clothes. And on the other, well, that's the reality for most young people in Nepal, working-class struggles, and just this growing anger over what they saw as total nepotism. This massive contrast, broadcast for everyone to see, is what really poured fuel on the fire. And here's the really crucial part. This wasn't just some online drama that fizzled out. No way. This constant, in-your-face display of inequality, it was a direct spark that pushed people to demand actual change in the real world. And the result? That online anger spilled right out onto the streets in these massive youth protests. We're not talking about a small gathering here. This was a huge mobilization, showing a direct line from a TikTok trend straight to a powerful, physical protest movement. It's fascinating, right? A whole digital ecosystem kind of grew around this movement. Think of TikTok as the engine that created and spread the anger, grabbing everyone's attention. But when it was time to actually organize, to plan things out, activists jumped over to platforms like Discord to coordinate the logistics. So what happens when you take what we saw in Nigeria and what we saw in Nepal and put them together? Well, you get something we can call the viral accountability effect. The playbook for this is actually super simple, but man, is it effective. Step 1, you take a really heavy topic and you wrap it in humor and satire. Step 2, you package it perfectly to go viral. And step 3, by doing that, you make these huge, complicated problems like systemic corruption dead simple to understand and, most importantly, share. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that this whole thing creates this immense social pressure. When a scandal is trending, when it's a meme that everyone is sharing, it becomes so much harder for people in power to just look the other way and hope it all blows over. And that brings us to one last really big question to chew on. We've seen a hashtag about corruption and a trend calling out nepotism literally spark real-world movements. It really makes you wonder, in this new protest playground, what injustice is going to be the next to go viral?